School time. We're live. How I revived my energy doing a yoga testosterone detox. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope that you're having a good lunch. It's 12 noon. Maybe you're sitting down. Maybe you're eating your food and you're just taking this time. Well, I want to bring you something very valuable. I want to tell you the story. I want to give you something that you can chew on today to boost your health. I want to give you something that can give you hope, that can give you a practical action plan. So you're going to walk away and you're going to say, I'm healthier today. So that's what we're going to be doing. 12 o'clock noon. This is the Genius Vitality podcast. So the theme today is toxins in your food, toxins in your water. They can be completely ruining your health. We're talking about your brain, your testosterone. It could be the reason why you feel lethargic after the lunch that you're eating right now. It could be the reason why you feel the brain fog. You don't want to go back to work. You feel a little bit socially isolated. You don't want to go out after you eat dinner. Why? This is what I wondered. This is what I wondered for so long. I was a massage therapist, guys, for 10 years. And for such a long time, I didn't understand why I felt that lethargy, that fuck it. Like, I really don't want to go to work. Like, I really just want to like chill. I just need cope. And so it really did lead me to just like binge watching YouTube, podcasts. My clients could kind of feel that I didn't want to be there a lot of the time. And my health was a mystery to me. And this went on and on and on until I just decided one day, I talked about this, fly over to India. Just say, you know what's going to solve this problem? Being a monk. I'm going to learn Indian medicine. I'm going to go to India. So I went to this ashram, and I'm not going to go full into the story of what happened, but long story short, the water filtration systems over there, they didn't work very well. You know, a lot of people go over there and they have this American microbiome, and we just can't handle the water. The water is not, it's not agreeable to American guts. And so it made me socially isolated, cranky, tired, bad sleep. It just basically made me feel like the Grinch. Really. It's kind of like, imagine you only sleep 5 hours for like a week. That just constant feeling of just being like depressed, weak, cranky. It's like everything just like makes you angry. Like you just turn into a Karen. That's basically what happened. And it's all just because of the water. So, you know, I flew back home and I started thinking about this. I was saying, so something as simple as the purity of the water, you know, the gut bacteria, what happens in my body was affecting my mind so much. My personality, like who I was completely degenerated and degraded. And I learned that lesson the hard way. And it's not the first time I had to learn that lesson. I had to learn that lesson later on. So I'm going to fast forward with you. Fast forward, I say 2 years, because what I had to do was when I came back from India, I had to learn how to recover my health. You know, I wasn't going out. I wasn't socializing. I wasn't dating. I was basically just working a little bit and just working on my health. I learned a lot about gut health from Dr. William Davis. And I was learning Ayurveda. And I really just needed to know how to be vital again. I needed to get back my mojo because I just felt out of it. And so that's what I did for a good, I'd say 6 to 12 months. And at the same time, I found a house. I bought the house. I was into real estate investing. And I repaired this house. I converted it from a 3-bed, 2-bath into a 6-3. So I added 3 bedrooms and I added a bathroom. And that was stressful in and of itself, but it worked. And so there I am, happy as can be, successful real estate investor, not a monk, but I'm in America and I got a great Airbnb. This thing is making me all the money I need. And, you know, I recovered my health. Going to the gym, I would jog to this U-Fit right around the corner, doing my Olympic weightlifting. I was feeling strong. I was feeling jacked. I was feeling energized until something grabbed me by surprise. I couldn't believe it. So what happened was I was living in my garage unit and I bought an Airstream, you know, one of those long 30-foot like sausage containers that people camp in. It has like a bathroom and a kitchen. Airstreams are amazing. So I bought one of those and I parked it in my backyard and I was living in it. It had plumbing, it had flowing water, and I took a water filtration system from the garage that I bought with the house. Have no idea how legit this thing is, but I took that water filtration system, I put it in the kitchen in the house so that I can go from the Airstream into the kitchen, get my filtered water, bring it back to the Airstream, right? Guess what happened? Sick as a dog. Sick as a dog. Didn't know where it was coming from. Same thing as in bumfuck India. It just whittled down my health over like 2 or 3 months. Didn't know what the hell was happening. Because you don't think that it's the water, because you're only thinking like, well, what's going on? Like, why do I have anxiety? Why do I have depression? Why am I feeling weaker? Why don't I want to go to the gym? Why am I feeling demotivated? Why am I having like a lot of worry about everything in my life? You don't think that it's the water that you're drinking. And so the lesson that I learned from these two health menaces that took me out for months. I mean, it took me out for months, guys. We can't underestimate the power of having toxins, bad bacteria in our water, and how it affects whether or not you're able to succeed at anything in life. I mean, even if you just want to be good at like playing StarCraft 2, you got to have a sharp brain. If you want to go out and date, you have to have a sharp brain. If you want to network, socialize, be good at your job, get a raise. If you want to do anything in life, you have to be sharp. And you know what? I never thought that it could be coming from, well, my lethargy, my brain fog, my anxiety could be coming from just something as simple as toxins in the body. Coming from the water that you drink every day. Coming from the food that you drink every day. Everything looks so benign and safe. All the companies, they put their labels on it. And the labels are kind of like makeup. It's kind of like, imagine an evil witch. She's ugly and old, but through this alchemy, she can put on this makeup and just make herself look like this beautiful maiden and deceive people. And they go into the chamber of death with her, just like the book of Proverbs says. That's what people are doing with the food. These food companies, these pharmaceutical industry, it's just packaging things in such a way that it looks so safe. All this food, it's really propaganda. It's criminal. You look at how they portray it as like, the people who drink Coca-Cola and eat McDonald's are just like these basketball players who just like have girlfriends and everyone's laughing, huh? It's bullshit. It's blatant lies. It's blatant lies. But, that's how they push their poison. They push their poison. So people are eating, even hamburgers. You're eating hamburgers that aren't grass-fed, that aren't organic. That's corrupt. That's corrupt. So all these toxins, they have a way to actually infiltrate your body and just make you suck. It makes you suck. It makes you suck. And the suckiest thing about it, guys, is that you don't even realize that's happening. These toxins are building up in your body. You don't know why. You're feeling a little bit more cynical, more aggressive, more irritable. You're becoming a Karen. Listen, everybody's a Karen every once in a while. I was a Karen, but I didn't know why. It was from the bacteria and the bullshit food, the bullshit water, something as simple as that. So that's what we're talking about. You're wondering, maybe you're in a place of your health where you don't know what's going on. You feel like, you're getting over the hill already. You're feeling more tired. You're not going to the gym. You look in the mirror and what do you think? Honestly, like you look in the mirror and you just think like, what's going on? Like you look at your body and you're not happy with your body. You start to get resentful at like all the other pretty boys out there who just have it good. And you're born with these bullshit genetics. Are you blaming the genetics? Genetics play a role, but how you respond can change the genetics. It's called epigenetics. But, how you feel is legitimate. How you feel, it's not your fault. We're living in such a weird world of confusion. It's such a poisonous, toxic society in terms of health. Like, you go to another country like Europe, and you look at how they have laws structured for how they produce the food, what they can put in the food, the preservatives that they can put in the food, and it's a whole new world. It's completely different. They can't put additives. They can't put polysorbate 80. You look at the back of like even a peanut butter jar, and you're looking at all these chemicals, and you're seeing words that are like from a Breaking Bad laboratory. You literally don't even know what that thing is, and we're eating it. And the government is able to get away with all this stuff. So, time and time again, I see whenever some of my friends they do a fast, they do some intermittent fasting, and I just see it change their lives. I see it change their body. Like I see their face just like shrink. Like I see so much health come into their body. Their skin glows more. Their skin improves. They have better of a complexion. Have one of my friends. He's this big Israeli guy. He'll go up to like 280, and then he'll do a fast for like, kid you not, like 7 days, just like drinking juice, celery juice. Another good one is herbal juices, low sugar stuff, berry juices, and he'll just shrink. He'll go down like 50 pounds. He'll go down like 40, 50 pounds in just like a couple weeks of fasting. It's insane. It's insane what happens when the body literally just detoxes and flushes out all that rubbish. I like telling this story about the fathead minnows because it's a story about these minnows in Canada that are swimming around in a lake, and the scientists, they just want to measure the level of chemical in the water. So they measure the chemical in the water, and they found a birth control chemical called EE2, and they noticed that these minnows in the water, the males were transforming into females. So weird. They're becoming not just hermaphrodites, they're becoming females. And when they cleaned up the water and took out all the EE2, then the males who turned into females, they evolved back into males. They regrew their genitalia. They became males again. And so we see that even micro doses of these chemicals are just everywhere in society. They do weird things to people, guys. They do weird things. I mean, I don't even want to imagine what that's like, becoming feminized, becoming like a hermaphrodite just from chemicals in the water. And so that's a real thing. That is real. That's in our water now, because guess where it came from? It's not like in Batman Begins, the Scarecrow literally dumping his chemicals of laughing gas in the water, just chuckling like, I'm going to poison the Gothamites. That's not what's going on. It's the pharmaceutical company selling their birth control, and then everybody's peeing into the water supply, and our sanitation system isn't sophisticated enough to filter out all the bullshit. And so we're getting what Grandpa's taking, the 20 meds that he's taking. We're getting what Susan's taking, her birth control. And millions and millions and millions of people are taking these pharmaceutical agents as a proxy for whatever they're trying to accomplish with their health. And then it's affecting all of us. So what does that mean? That means that there's an explanation for all this shit. There's an explanation for why andropause is happening, why guys' testosterone levels are shrinking, their balls are shrinking, fertility levels are going down. People are having worse gut issues than ever before, cardiovascular issues more than ever before. Chronic diseases are up and up and up and up, just like the economy. And we see it everywhere. We see acne rates increasing. Maybe you have digestive issues. Cancer rates are increasing. Who doesn't know somebody who has had cancer? Kidney disease, diabetes, autism rates are going up, and more in America than anywhere else. And so if this doesn't piss you off, if this doesn't make you curious, maybe it's because there's some kind of subversion, some kind of propaganda happening that doesn't want us thinking about this. It's the most obvious threat that's happening to people's lives, but people want to think about Kardashians and other things that are distracting them. Yeah, it's a conflict of interest. The people who are stealing from your pocketbook don't want you to check your bank account and catch them. People don't want you thinking about why we have more chronic disease killing people than every single year than all wars ever combined. You take how many people die from war every year and you combine it to how many people are dying from chronic disease in the United States every year, and the chronic disease deaths, they trump the war deaths infinitesimally. We can even look this up right now. I'm gonna go to Gemini. How many people die from war every year? 526,000 people every year die from war. Guess how many people die from chronic disease every year? That is crazy. 43 million. 43 million. War, 526,000. It's 500,000. 43 million from chronic disease. That's 86 times more than war. You look at all the people dying of war in the world every year. 86 times more people die from chronic diseases, which just means we're killing ourselves. We are killing ourselves. Chronic disease means you can't take care of your health enough, and so you die from not being able to take care of yourself. And listen, I really, at this point, I don't think that it's the people's fault. Obviously, we have responsibility. Obviously, we can take action. But what I'm saying is it's not your fault if you're just going and eating food, then the culpable person is the person selling you the poisonous food. What we need is to figure out how to prevent this tragedy. What we need is how to actually react right now, how to respond. And that's with awareness. That's with consciousness. That's with education. That's by becoming an equipped health warrior. That's why we're here. That's why I'm on here, is because I've seen the carnage and the devastation that happens when you just don't take care of your basic water. The bacteria, guys, the bacteria that you get from the water, from the meats, from the food, from eating poisons and preservatives in the food ruins your gut bacteria, which is your well-being. This is your second brain. This is not your only brain. This is your second brain. If you're having mental health issues, check your second brain. Don't just do the affirmations. Don't just talk to a therapist. Check your second brain. This is your second brain. Bacteria. William Davis, Supergut. Where is it? Supergut and Wheat Belly. Two of the best books that you can read looking at gut health. You read this book, this will change your life. This is what changed my life. This changed my life when I came back from India to fix my gut health. This changed my life recovering from long COVID and that bad water from that bullshit filter that I had. This will change your life. This is what we talk about all the time. Gut health, avoiding the toxins. Before you actually do a yoga detox, you have to actually cleanse. You have to prevent poisons from coming in, right? So if your boat is sinking, what's the first thing that you do? Plug the holes or start bailing? Oh, all this fucking water in my boat. I'm just bailing. Meanwhile, you have like 5 holes in your boat poking in water. This will teach you how to plug the holes in the boat. Nothing like a good book. Knowledge will change your life. Knowledge will change your life. It'll put you on a path to accomplish why you're here. Your life purpose. What's the purpose of life? Is to make it to the next level. People say joy. People say happiness. Sure. But how are you going to get there if you're not even surviving? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. People, we got to understand how to look at things in a nuanced way. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What does it say? The purpose of life is first and foremost to not die prematurely. And you can't argue that. A bear comes at you, you don't want to die, right? So you don't want to have ill health. You need good shelter. You need to get out of poverty. And people, they understand this when it comes to poverty, but people are ignoring their health. People think that they can jump straight to joy, fulfillment, enlightenment without taking care of your health. Health is the bottom. Survival, health, well-being, energy, thriving, potentiality. This is the foundation. What the purpose of life is to climb Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's a good framework. It's a good framework. First, you survive. You be healthy as hell. Then you can start accomplishing things. Then you can start making more money. Then you can start building out your relationships. Then you can get married. Then you can have kids. How are you going to have kids if you're not fertile? This is a fucking sad question that we have to actually answer. Andropause, decreasing fertility. You see people having a harder and harder time actually having kids. This is real. This ain't sci-fi. This is really happening. And it's only going to get worse if we don't learn, if we don't respond, if we don't learn about our health and start understanding, first and foremost, purpose of your life is to be healthy. It's not to make money right now. It's not to get married. It's not to go and get enlightened. That can only happen if you have your foundation. Set your foundation. This is what I had to learn the hard way, guys. Wanted to be a monk, wanted to go get enlightened. If you're not equipped against the bad bacteria, if you don't know to boil your water in India, if you don't know to get a water filter, reverse osmosis, activated charcoal, and UV to kill all that bullshit, to have healthy water, you ain't going to get there. There's no hope for you. There's no hope if you don't take care of your health. And that's not what people are selling. People are selling self-help, personal development, enlightenment, get rich. That's all fine and good. But people are missing out on the low-hanging fruit. You want to be a more powerful person. You want to be energized. You want to revive your vitality. You want to be more influential, more confident with people. You want to feel like you're a more powerful person. You want to have that deeper voice. You want to have that more powerful presence. Let's not be castrated men full of toxins and poisons. Let's return back to what we're really supposed to be, drinking from clean rivers, outside, walking, exercising, eating real food. We're going to have to talk about all the shenanigans happening in the dietary world too. People talking about veganism, carnivore, all this extremism. It ain't normal. It ain't normal. And that's just not my opinion. You look at Dr. Weston Price, he looked at all the indigenous tribes across the world. They're not vegan. It's not natty. And by the way, we drink milk. We drink milk. That's dairy, vegans. We are made to drink milk. It's the first food that our body needs is milk. It doesn't make any sense if you really think about it. And there's a reason why it's called the land of milk and honey, because those are vitalizing foods, the land of milk and honey. Cheers to that. Love milk, love me some honey. Listen, I tried veganism for a good 3-4 years. It was not good. And I did as best as I could, supplementing everything. It was not good. Not a fan of it. But people are falling into all these weird extreme diets that it's not normal, guys. It's not normal. You know, and we're going to talk about the carnivore diet because Jordan Peterson got completely helped from it. Michaela Peterson got completely helped from it. So there's something interesting going on there. Maybe it's getting away from the grains like Dr. William Davis is talking about in Wheat Belly. Maybe something's going on there. But still, the genetic variations that people have, some people can get away with eating only meat, but there's something in nature that punishes extremes when most people try to do it. If you're trying to be that person who smokes a pack of cigarette every day and think that you can live to be 105 just because you knew one person in the history book that you read about, yo, how stupid can people be? There's some people who can go to extremes and get away with it. But then everyone thinks that they can just like be that anomaly. No. Nature, it puts out anomalies to experiment. It puts out mutations to experiment with the genetic code. And they go out there and they trailblaze and they're the weird geniuses and they can get away with stuff. But that doesn't mean that we emulate those weirdos. Okay? So we got to talk a lot about it. Gotta go, have a mentor call. And what to think about today is how can you clean up your bacteria? How can you clean up your gut health? How can you clean up your water? I recommend if you care about your energy, if you care about your health, your fertility, your productivity, your brain fog, if you care about getting in better shape, if you care about your gains, if you care about your testosterone levels, you have to think about your water health. You can't be drinking the plastic bottled water. You can't be drinking from the tap. You can't be just putting it in the Brita filter. You need reverse osmosis, activated charcoal, UV filter. You cannot get away with it nowadays. You will have serious health problems if you don't take care of the water. Your body's what? What percent water? It depends. Like 74 to 84% water. How is your body going to function if you're drinking poison every day? 84% of your body is water. You're drinking poison water every single day. Chlorine, fluoride, bacteria. You think you're going to get away with that? Life is not so naive. You do the wrong things happen. So get that. Invest the money into your future. Invest the money into your health, and you're going to thrive. You're going to feel a difference just from taking care of the water. Let's not just be so fancy and talk about ginseng, ashwagandha. Oh my God, I'm so fucking fancy with all my biohacking knowledge. The basics. Bruce Lee said, he's not afraid of the man who knows 100 kicks, but the man who knows one kick and can kick your ass with that one kick. Okay? So this is the one kick that I want us to practice. Clean your water. Get that reverse osmosis and think about it. Think about how clean your water is. Gotta go. Have a great day. Leave a comment. Like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're a badass and you want to become more of a badass. And you better have a good day. You hear me? You better after what I just told you. Peace.